Great. So good mid Wednesday, I think it is. Who knows what day it is? The waves keep coming. The tide goes in and out. So thanks for joining me at whatever time you are. If you're coming later to be on for the recording, I'm so happy to be able to reconnect. And it is an express flow class. So it's about 35 minutes. If you don't have anything that's nearby, that's okay. We don't have to have any props. I might use my scarf a little bit or a long sock, maybe a pillow or a block if you have that. So take a moment to gather if you do, if it's not too far away. And because it is the middle of the day and a lot of us may have been sitting at a screen or out for a walk, whatever, I prefer not to do a lot of sitting so that we can just open up this whole area in the front of the body. We're going to work into the hips today. And so if we can just take a moment to come to standing. And you can have your eyes open or closed. And let your attention come to rest in the feet. You might just take a look down there and lift the toes. Walk it out a little bit. Pad the toes down, peel them up. And then feel into the arches, the heels. And then allow your feet to settle a comfortable distance apart. So a lot of the activity may be going on above the neck right now. Some disconnection with this body, or this body mind, even the mindfulness aspect of just knowing that we are here standing. However it is that we're standing, doesn't matter so much about the posture, but that we're also in a space where we have some synchronicity, where we are together with a collective wish for each other's well-being. And as you continue to let the awareness rest in your feet, so the feet is, at least in terms of how we usually perceive things, as far away from the mental activity as we can be. So we're really just grounded into the earth, into the soil, and the spine can float up and out of that. In a flow class, the emphasis is on the breath. We'll pay some special attention to that right now, just feeling the breath moving in and out of the body like a wave. It's actually called the Ujjayi breath, which is translated into a wave. The sound of a wave, the movement of a wave. It's also called the victorious breath, so victory breath. Something that sounds like we're in a race or we're out to win a prize. And so for me, to be victorious with the breath just means to be present, that there's a little bit of anticipation or excitement, some intentionality about it, some gratitude just to know that we are inhabited beings, or beings inhabited by this breath right now. Let's take a few now, reaching the arms up and breathing in, and just pause on the exhale, draw the belly in, reach out through the fingertips. And then exhale, lower the arms down. And then reach it up again. Inhale, lengthen, press down through the feet, reach up through the fingers. Hold the breath there, draw the belly in, tailbone drops. And then exhale, floating everything down. Just going to be the breath, present to the breath. Inhale, filling the sides of the body, back body holding there. And exhale. And then let's just loop out the shoulders a few times. Can bend the knees as well. Inhaling in one direction and exhaling in the other. Inhale, exhale. However that works for you. Go the other way. Inhaling and exhaling. Slow it down and start to bounce through the heels. I always like to do a little bit of shaking in this class. So just get really loose. Just let the breath go wherever it goes. Some vibrating and some moving fluids through all of the lymphatic system. Bouncing around, the movements can stay small, or you can wake up a little bit more. Shaking out the fingers as well, the joints of the hands. Shake, shake, shake. Some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. You might notice the breath is changing, or the body temperature as well. Couple more like that. Good, and then slow that down. Just a little jiggle of the knees. Let yourself just swing back into standing and feel whatever it is that you're feeling here now. Whether there's a little more connection with the feet, the ground, the shaking kind of all the thoughts down to settle as well, so they're not as sticky. And then let's reach the arms up on the inhale. And a half sun salutation, fold on the exhale. Lengthen up halfway, press the hands to shins. And then exhale, let it go. Empty the belly. Let's take a couple extra breaths here at the bottom. Chin to chest, taking a hold of opposite elbows. We have a generous bend at the knees. The hamstrings are tight. Lengthening the spine for one more inhale. Just enjoying that wave on the empty to exhale. Rippling up and the knees again, a little curve in the spine, and then reach right up. Press through the feet, stay with that, and exhale, folding forward. If you've never done this before, inhale halfway and fold on the exhale. Coming all the way up again, pressing into the feet and reach up. Just doing some familiar fold, exhale, repetitive movements so we can go onto autopilot, coming up halfway. Fold on the exhale. Press into the feet. Let's do one more like that, just going with your own breath rhythm. If it's comfortable for you to breathe in and out through the nose. Depth of breath, so we're not leaning too far in. Let's bring the palms to meet at the heart center and press, press, press. Pressing out right out to the fingertips, so getting a little bit of a stretch through the wrists, lifting the elbows here for one more breath. And release, we'll take the arms up. We'll take the left hand with the, or left wrist with the right hand and take a side stretch over to the right. Just one breath for each movement or half breath. The inhale comes up. And then other side, exhale, left hand grips the right wrist. Inhale, take it back up. And fold over the legs again. Halfway to lengthen. And bend the knees a lot, like you're in a little squat, fingertips on floor, or if you do use blocks or books, and we'll step the right leg back, and we'll just sink into that low lunge on the inhale. Tap the back knee down, exhale. You can keep the toes curled under if you like. Reach the arms up on the inhale. So draw the ribs back a little bit, and then exhale, coming into a cactus shape. The pelvis sink a little bit. Reach up on the inhale. Exhale into that cactus shape. Let's come up on the inhale. And then let's add on here. So take the left hip crease back, bring the fingertips to the floor, breathing in to lengthen the spine. And breathing out to fold. Shift back to the low lunge. Reach the arms up, inhale. And then exhale, settle the pelvis a little bit, cactus shape. Reach straight up, inhale. Draw the ribs back, and then exhale to fold again, bringing the fingertips down. Take another inhale there. And exhale. Shifting through, so repeating this sequence. Inhale brings us up. Exhale settles into the weight of the pelvis. Reaching straight up, inhale. And then exhale to fold. Stay for another inhale, draw the left hip crease. Exhale to empty. Go through that sequence just one more time on your own. Might not be exactly the same. Open to the breath, making space. When the mind wanders, as it will, return to that anchor of breath. Let's shift back through to low lunge on the inhale, pressing out through the right heel, and bring the right hand a little wide and spin the fingers out, drawing the left hip crease back and starting to wrap the right ribs under, twisting over towards the side. You can keep the left fingers or left thumb drawing that crease back, or reach that arm up towards the ceiling for another inhale. And exhale, walk the hands once again on either side of that front foot. And then let's step it back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, bend the knees on the exhale, send the sits bones high, pressing away from the palms. On the inhale, let the heels drop and peel the hips up a little higher. Exhale, knees deeply bend. Inhale, heels drop, hamstrings press to the back wall. Exhale, bend the knees again. And then inhale to walk forward. Folding over the legs on an exhale. Come up halfway, breathing in. Exhale to fold. Good, let's press into the feet and come all the way up, inhale. Catch the left wrist, exhale. Up and over to the right. And then the breath comes in and exhaling to the left. Second side coming through, folding over the legs. Inflating with the inhale. And folding with the exhale. Bend the knees, little squat, fingertips on either side of the right foot, stepping left leg back. Let's take a breath in the low lunge, sink the hips a little bit. And then exhale, tap the back knee down. Reaching straight up with the arms on the inhale. So the legs are more like right angles. Let's just go through this one slower. Don't worry so much about the breath. So we'll just find the shapes to start. There's the cactus with the pelvis sinking in. And then a reach up again. Exhale. Inhale, sitting into the lunge. And stay there for the exhale. Let's reach it up this time on the breath in. And then fingertips come down. The front leg starts to straighten out any amount, drawing the toes towards the face. Another inhale here. Pulling back through the femur bone and exhale, fold. Shifting through. So low lunge. The inhale lifts up. The exhale into cactus. Pelvis heavy. Reach up on the inhale. And fold on the exhale. A little bit of balance here. Another breath to lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Shifting through the low lunge. The inhale lifts up. Exhale to settle, spreading the collarbones. Pulling up, drawing belly back, inhale. Exhale, fold. Breath in there. Stay for another exhale. Take it through in your own time, one more time through this sequence, just so the brain can rest. Enjoying the breath. Gratitude for the breath. It's just simple switching from the negativity bias to something that we can celebrate. Let's shift back to the low lunge again. Take one more breath there. And then pick up the back knee. Take the left fingers a little outwards, sending the palm slightly ahead of the shoulder, a little more space there. And then draw the right hip crease back. Start to wrap the left side of the rib cage around. Staying here or reaching the right arm up for 3. Hugging the outer right hip in and down, 2. And 1. Palms press on either side of the front foot and stepping back again, downward dog. Exhale to bend the knees. Inhale, heels drop. It's that flow of breath, the empty on the exhale, the hips lift a little higher. Inhale, heels drop. Let's come high on the heels this time and shift forward to plank pose. And we'll tap the knees down, bringing the elbows down and catching the hands together so the forearms are pressing. And wiggle the knees in a little bit closer so we can do a few cat and cow here, drawing the chest through on the inhale. And then hugging the belly up and in, letting the head go. Draw through on the inhale. Just coming out of the posture that is looking down all the time. And then exhale, head drops, looking to the navel. Inhale, chest moving forward. And one more time, crown of the head towards the floor, looking back towards the knees, taking the left leg back, and then the right leg back. Let's take 5 breaths in a plank pose here, forearm plank. Pressing back through the heels, lifting the ribs in, that's 1. Trying to puff up back of the heart for 2. Good press of the forearms for 3. Hamstrings to the ceiling. I don't think my count is too good. Let's bring the knees down, thighs. Sorry about that. Wiggle the elbows forward and stretch the legs back. Try to pull the front of the mat in and down towards the pelvis. And press the tops of the feet so the legs are strong. If you feel any compression in the lower back, then take the arms further forward or lower right down. And try out different things, taking the hands apart, shoulder distance apart. If that feels okay, let's take 2 more breaths there. Exhale to lower and spread the hands wide. Just let your forehead rest on the ground. Come to the fingertips for the elbows lifted. Belly draws in, pelvis presses, and coming through to a baby cobra. Let's drop the left shoulder and peek underneath the right arm. Exhale. Inhale, center. And exhale, right shoulder drops, peeking under the left arm. Inhale, center. Let's do 1 more time each side. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Through center on the breath in, keeping just a little bit of height and bringing the hands in closer, lifting the back of the arms, the triceps towards the ceiling. So the hands might be down or they might just hover a little bit for 3, 2, and 1. Lower. Press up and back through table. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog or child's pose. For 3. If you like that movement of bending the knees and straightening the legs, you just keep going with that. Let's come back to Just being present, celebrating breath is here. We're all here. Good, and then let's meet in downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Let's take the big toes together. Reach the right leg up and back. Three-legged dog and open up the hip. Hug the left inner thigh to center and bend the right knee. And stay here, or if it feels good, do a couple of circles with that right knee. Just feeling into that hip ball and socket. Let's lengthen that leg out on the inhale, and then bring the knee towards the nose on the exhale. And step the right foot up to take the low lunge. And then walk the hands to the inside of the right foot and keep going. So to the left, parallel your feet. And walk the hands out quite a ways, lifting in the belly, and then exhale, fold. So you can bend the knees here, crawling the fingers a little further forward to lengthen the spine. Lifting the sits bones up. It's like a wide leg downward facing dog. And then walk the hands in a little bit, come up. Let's take the right hand to the left thigh or the left shin, wherever you might be able to reach, and just let your head drop here. Crawl the left fingers a little bit towards the right, so you're peeking underneath your left arm. If you like, you could try bending the right knee a little bit and keeping that lift underneath the left inner thigh for one more breath. And then inhale, bring right hand in front of the face. Exhale to fold and reach your left hand for your right shin or thigh. Crawling the right fingers a little more to the left now, so your head is peeking underneath your right arm. Trying to level out the hips here, drawing the belly in, and maybe bend the left knee just a little bit. Keeping an arch in the right foot, outer right foot presses for one more breath. Filling into that left shoulder. Hands come forward on the inhale. And then walk back to face the front of your mat, coming back to a low lunge inhale. Press palms and step it up and back, downward facing dog. Shifting through, if you wish, for a vinyasa to plank pose. Tapping knees and lower. Otherwise, just stay back and rest. Loop the shoulders for a cobra. Backs of the arms to the ceiling and exhale, lower. Pressing back through table. Toes curl under. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale. Soothing breath here. Let's do one more. Big toes together, stretch the left leg up and back. Three-legged dog. I like to bend my right knee a little bit so I can really square up the hips, wrap the outer left hip around and down. And then open it so you'll feel the difference. And bend the knee. Working here are a few big circles with that left thigh bone, stirring that out. Good, straighten out the leg. Bring the left knee to the nose, curve the spine a lot, and then step it up. Just take a breath in the low lunge there. Inhale. And exhale. Walk the hands on the inside of the left foot and come all the way around. Parallel the feet again here. Breath in. And fold on the exhale. Let's walk the hands to the hips and come up halfway. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Let's come all the way up on the inhale and bring the heels in and drop into a squat. Moving the inner thighs away from center. And just let the head sink into the support of the shoulders. Shifting left and right. Engaging in the glutes a little bit. And then just let the head get light and float up again. Let's come back to just feeling the feet. Feeling the breath in this posture. Support some of the strength here. Hands can stay where they are or press palms again, or even the backs of the wrists. You can get a stretch that there after a couple of those plank, making a little fist there. Press, press, press for one more inhale. And exhale, squeeze it up. Let's bring the feet back together. And do a couple more shakes. Bounce it off, move the fluids. Can open the mouth, exhale. I'm going to finish lying down. And so if you did have a long sock or a strap, you can have that. Just come onto the mat. If you have a pillow, if you'd like to have it over on the left side of your mat. Just bring you to me a little more. Yeah, so let's take the strap around the bottom of the right foot and reach it up towards the ceiling. Wrap your hands around the strap so it feels comfortable, and you can just get a nice hamstring stretch here, pressing out through the heel. You might even have your elbows on the floor if you have a long strap. If you don't have a strap, you can just hold the back of your thigh or just let the leg reach up there and point and flex the toes a few times. And returning to sensations of the breath, moving in and out as you point and flex, point and flex. I've got that pillow over on the left side of my mat. I'm going to take both ends of the strap in the left hand and hop the hips a little to the right. Starting to draw the right leg across. I've still got my left knee bent, kind of scissoring into center. So just getting into the IT band to start with, a little squeeze of the inner thighs together for another breath. And then shift in such a way that you're actually on your left hip. So you can let the bottom leg come down. It can stay bent or lengthen out. If you happen to have a pillow or two, or even a wall that you run into, is perfect, that you can rest that leg on. So it's a twist, a stretch of the outer hip. If your right shoulder is down, then let your right arm reach away and press into that palm. Maybe look over that side. See if you can just find a middle path here where you're not doing a lot of work. That's why the pillow or some support so that leg's not hanging out. Or you can go ahead and just bend the right knee as well. Really being mindful of the back here. As we slow things right down. Let's take 2 more breaths on this side. And then come back to center, however you can get there. Let's release the strap, cross the right knee over the left knee. And just hug the thighs in towards the chest. You can stay with this, getting a nice press on the ascending colon, or a little more in the hips to come up and grab onto your shins and pull them apart a little bit to come back down. It's a little more active if you can grab there, or some might grab the bottoms of the feet and draw the toes towards the face. Try to keep the tailbone really long, so almost as if it's pressing into the floor, so you do have a little space underneath your low back, so we don't compress the low back. For 2 more breaths. 1, 2, releasing the legs. Give your hips a little bounce, reorient to center. And then second side. So pillow on the right side of your mat now. Lying down. If you're using the strap or sock, then around the bottom of the left foot and lengthen that leg up. Relaxing your arms, your face, your jaw. Ujjayi. waves of breath coming and going. Pressing out through the heel and then point and flex. Inhaling one way. And take your time and exhaling the other way. Good, and then we'll shift the hips a little to the left. Let the right knee drop to the left as the left leg starts to move to the right. And just put the strap, if you have it, into your right hand, both ends of it. Hugging the left outer thigh back and down. Feeling that something along the outer left leg. And shift from here right onto your right hip. And if you have a wall or a chair that you bump into, or if you have a pillow, you can rest your leg on there. Might be different on this side. The left shoulder might not come down. You can keep your arm down by your hip, left side, or reach it straight out of the shoulder if that is happening for you. Soften the gaze or even close the eyes if they're open. And be the breath here. Making its way through the digestive organs on this side. Clearing house. Bring that leg back up. Inhale. And release. Cross the left knee over the right knee. Level the hips a little bit there and hug the thighs in. And cradle around the thighs, or tuck the chin and come up and grab the shins to come down. Soles of the feet is another option, to take a hold of them and let the feet move away from each other. Feeling something in that outer left hip as the tailbone drops towards the earth for 3, 2, and 1. Releasing the legs. Uncross the legs. Bounce the hips a couple times. Let's take the legs up in the air and give them a good shake, shake, shake. Keep that going, keep that going. This is our last act before we rest for 1 minute. Shake, shake, shake. Kick it off, send it out into the universe. Whatever's in our body, whatever's holding. The negativity bias is fine, it's helpful, but it's just that it can move on. And right now we're okay. We want to practice the skill of having some ease, some gratitude, and some positivity. Shake, shake, shake. And exhale. You stretch out for the next little bit on your back in any comfortable way. And as you rest here, you can let the breath be at a more neutral, natural pace. I'm going to read us a poem. It's a Rumi, and it's called The Guest House. It's one that I've been feeling drawn to this week. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honorably. She may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Returning to just awareness of the body in this resting posture, receiving nutrition, healing. You're welcome to stay longer if you can and would like to. If you're moving on with your day here, then just do that mindfully with a few jaw rolls, or taking the tongue around the teeth, cleaning them off, front and back, stick the tongue out. And making your way to one side to pause. Pressing up to sit with the hands comfortably resting in the lap or at the heart center. Just making that very intentional physical contact with this heart, with this body mind, and nodding the chin towards each other as well to acknowledge each other's participation. May all beings everywhere have ease. May all beings be safe and well. May all beings be happy. Namaste. And thank you so much for coming out to play.
Thanks, Kathy.